Coming to you from Cape Town, this is Newsroom. Welcome, thank you very much for joining. I'm Katinka again. Coming up, live coverage of the residential struggles at CPUT Cape Town, as well as the latest news from the country. First things first, let's have a look at our top story. CPUT students are left homeless due to the incompetency of the residence department. Students are currently occupying spaces at the main campus in Cape Town. The residence department has not been able to accommodate all returning students since January until now. William Bosch reports.
Classes at the Cape Town campus of the Cape Peninsula University of Technology, CPUT, were brought to a halt on Wednesday by students at the university who have been squatting in a very run-down office for the past 3 weeks and are desperate to be assisted with accommodation. 50 pupils, left homeless, opened a doorway to the office they were squeezing into. It revealed the floor covered in blankets with unpacked bags, which they slept on. They said they arrived on campus after they were told they qualified for accommodation or could return to the accommodation they occupied the previous year, only to be turned away.
Housing crisis has been a very poorly attended to issue, particularly at the CPUT institution. It has been an issue in almost all the campuses and the institutions in South Africa, and I think particularly in my institution it has not been addressed as properly as I would have liked. Stability, the problem with that is I cannot really pinpoint where I'm going to sleep tomorrow or where am I going to be able to find shelter, and that has been an ongoing process since I came to Cape Town. Also, the issue of not having stability is that it affects my performance at school.
Many students than there are rooms available. That is not the fault of the university, but the fault of government. Not enough subsidization is put into resources.
For me, it was very important to get into residence, purely because where I am from, there's not that many resources to kind of like facilitate a student, especially with the amount of pressure that being enrolled in the journalism course comes with. So for me, it was a huge problem, and it was a necessity actually to get into res.
The Cape Peninsula University of Technology has renamed their main campus to the District 6 campus. Significantly, the university was built on the site of the former District 6 community, forcibly removed off their property following the 1950 Group Areas Act. District 6 community members were not informed of this decision. Tokuimiya reports.
On Tuesday, the 6th of March, the CPUT Cape Town campus was renamed the District 6 campus, following 52 years of land occupation by the Cape Peninsula University of Technology, previously known as the Cape Technicon, merged with the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. The university has managed to acquire both the land rights as well as the naming rights to the university.
Experts on the District 6 community have voiced their outcry, saying that the university should have involved both the community as well as reconciliatory bodies in the decision-making process. Student opinion Kanya Limgwana follows.
So CPUT is trying to make amendments from what I see from my side. They're trying to make amendments by keeping, the history alive. But having spoken to a few people who lived in District 6 and spoken to Shahid Ajam, who is the chairman of the District 6 committee, they don't support this, and they feel insulted in a way, because CPUT did not come to the table in terms of them consulting with them.
CPUT student Alutam Bendeni had the following to say.
Okay, so I think the renaming of CPUT to District 6 Cape Town campus it's appropriate, also because the people that were forcefully moved from District 6 suffered a lot, and they were placed in neighborhoods that they didn't necessarily were familiar with or deserved to live in, so they lost a lot of their property and their land.
Teacher and education activist Neliswa Dudla opens up a new school in Kailicha. Early Bird Academy is a lifestyle school that aims to fill and improve learning, as students in township schools are neglected due to overcrowded classes. The academy includes excursions and exercise programs to expose the children to a world beyond the classroom. Sinan Taluka reports.
To find out what teacher Nelly Swazuza is doing with this academy school.
Well, the intricacies of public school administration are very deep. And even when you do try to implement small aspects of the models, like creating a reading corner, having a Saturday class, it costs them a lot of administrative burden to allow you to do even the smallest things that have the smallest impacts. So public schooling systems are not grounds for teachers to grow, they are grounds for construction workers to just basically carry out the most basic mandate, which is to be present in class and respond to the kids that respond and ignore the rest because you're that tired and not inspired enough to actually see to the needs of every individualized cognitive learning machine, which is every child. Wow. I think coming from a context where it took me a while to realize what I needed as an education activist, from that perspective, every person deserves the benefit of the doubt. They deserve a system that enables them to then allow themselves to learn. And if we are not allowed to learn, who do we become?
Early Birds Academy is a homeschooling program that is available to all school-going children in Kailicha. Academic activist Nelly Swazuza has created spaces for reading corners and basic English for junior learners, and the senior learners are also tutored in specific subject matters such as physics, math, and English. On Saturdays, the school runs outdoor excursions in the forms of sports, hikes, museum visits, to give the disadvantaged kids not only academic skills, but a wider view of the world outside.
The reason why I use Okani because in the struggle shop it's struggle because it is in my past.
So I can show me and I phone so then
This is Sineli Zungaluka reporting from Kailicha.
Being young, innocent and joyful seems like the dream of many old people. But who said being young is easy?
Mental health issues such as depression and anxiety are definitely some of the most difficult topics to have with children and teenagers. I'm Chantal Harteby, a student journalist at Cape Peninsula University of Technology in Cape Town, South Africa, and I'm on a quest to find out whether mental health issues are on the rise amongst young people.
Sumaya Khabir, Deputy Principal of G.J. Hubert Primary School in Strand, has been a teacher for the past 43 years.
Working with children every day, I am going to say that mental health problems and depression might have or play a major effect on the daily life of any child. We don't always know what is the underlying reason for them being the way that they are, for being moody, for being bullies.
Mental health issues are common among tertiary students. Colleen Guda, a third-year psychology and anthropology student, says she has faced depression.
The first time that I actually experienced like a mental health issue is when my father died in 2006. That was a very traumatic event for me. And again in my first year at university, I experienced, I was diagnosed with depression. Wat my angstigheid aanhoudt is wanneer ek sukkel om iets te doen en ek verstaan nie of as iets traumaties gebeur soos as iemand doodgaan.
Clinical psychologist Susan Marais, who works mainly with young people, confirms that there has been an increase in mental health issues among the youth.
Ek dink daar was 'n toename in angs en in depressie onder jong mense. As jy kyk na die hoeveelheid selfmoordpogings wat mense deesdae kry, in die media ook, lees mens daarvan. So ek dink daar is meer druk op jong mense.
En as gevolg van dit meer stres, meer angs, meer depressie. Daar is hulp. En ek dink hulle moet besef dat as hulle aan 'n angsversteuring ly of aan depressie of 'n gemoedsversteuring, bipolêr byvoorbeeld is ook maar 'n gemoedsversteuring, moet hulle besef daar is hulp en dit is deesdae meer algemeen.
We will give you more updates on the residential struggles throughout the day. For now, let's cross over to William doing the weather report.
Thank you very much, Katinka, and a very good morning to you all. Now for your temperature. The country looks partly warm overall. Cape Town 24, PE 25, Sutherland 26. A slight increase towards the north, Durban 28 and Uppington 34 degrees. Now crossing over to the continent. Expected showers in Maputo and Gaborone. Maputo at 29, Gaborone 37, Bulawayo 32 and Harare 29 degrees. The eastern escarpment, Windhoek hot at 31 degrees. Madagascar expecting a lot of rainfall today. The highest temperature in Mahahanda, 34 degrees. Over to the west side of our continent, heavy rainfall can be expected in this region. Nairobi, 23 degrees, Mombasa, 32, and Dar es Salaam, 31 degrees. Moving to the southeastern part of the continent, Lusaka sits at 29 degrees and Lilongwe at 28 degrees. Heavy rainfall continues towards the eastern region of the continent. Bangui, 37 degrees, Kinshasa, 33, and Luanda, 29 degrees. That's all for today. Thank you.